What's going on, everybody? Welcome to yet another installment, brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and today I'm going to be talking about the 2004 drama, The Terminal, starring Tom Hanks, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Stanley Tucci, Shy McBride, Diego Luna, and Zoe Saldana. What's up, everybody? Today is a sad day because we are closing out Tom Hanks month with this film from 2004. And you know, there is still so much meat on this Tom Hanks bone that I think that later this year I'm probably going to have to dive back into it and just knock out the rest of his movies, because I still have pretty much everything from 2005 to 2019 that I can get a hold of, or that I already own, that I can review. Plus, there's still some films from his earlier days that I either just recently acquired or am going to be getting a hold of in the coming weeks and months. So I think later this year I'm going to have to re-dive back into some more Tom Hanks films and just do another full month of him. Because remember, January we didn't do a full month of him because the show only premiered on the 11th. So that was 10 days that we didn't even get to do for this month. But I digress. Just as fantastic of an actor as I feel that he is, as many more movies as I have in my collection, and as many more movies of his that I have at my disposal through friends or streaming, or they're cheap enough to purchase somewhere online, I think I'm going to have to recap this later. But anyways, 2004's The Terminal. The film is actually partially inspired by Mihran Karim Masiri, who was a man from India who spent 18 years in Terminal 1 of a French airport. So part of this story was kind of inspired by him and his life. And Tom Hanks plays Victor Navorsky, a foreign traveler from the country of Krakosia, fictional country. He's traveling to New York. He arrives at JFK, and his passport is denied because during his flight from Krakosia to America, Krakosia broke out into a civil war. So now, as a result, the U.S. no longer recognizes it as an independent country. Therefore, he can't touch American soil. He is stuck inside the international terminal of JFK. And he can't go back home either. So he's literally just stuck there. He has no choice in the matter. So he begins to settle into the terminal with only his luggage and a Planters peanut can. Now, his foil in all this is Frank Dixon. He's the temporary customs director because the former director just stepped down. And he placed him in charge pending, basically a probationary period. People are going to be observing Frank, and if he passes his probation, he'll be fully given the job. Considering that he's being considered for this promotion when all this is going down, he's obsessed with Victor. He wants to get rid of him. Not because he feels that he's a bad person, but he feels that by keeping this foreigner inside of his terminal for any long period of time is going to just kill his chances of this promotion. So he allows Victor access to the transit lounge. That's it. Now, the transit lounge has restaurants in there. It has bathrooms. So, at least Victor can feed himself and utilize the restrooms, but he doesn't have access to really anything else. Victor stumbles upon a gate, an airport gate, that is about to be renovated. So he basically sets up shop in there, makes that his home. And he ends up befriending some of the airport personnel due to his lengthy stay there. One of which is a flight attendant named Amelia. Now, Amelia is played by Catherine Zeta-Jones. And he begins pursuing her, posing as a contractor who's constantly traveling, so he's always passing through the airport. Now, in order to obtain money for food and stuff, he finds the luggage assist carts that, you rent for $1 or whatever. And if you return it, then you get some of your money back. Not all of it, because you had to pay to use it, but you get some of it back. In this case, he gets a quarter back for every cart that gets returned. So he goes around the terminal, the lounge that he's allowed in, and he collects all the carts that have just been abandoned. Takes them back to the return so he can score some cash. With the money, he then goes to Burger King, product placement, and he buys himself food to help sustain himself. Very, very intelligent. However, Frank, being his foil, puts an end to that. And he legitimately hires somebody just to do that job. So now he's cut Victor's source of income. So Victor goes to eating like saltine crackers with ketchup on them. When an airport contractor discovers that Victor has remodeled a wall in the renovation zone, he hires him to do more work, paying him under the table. That way he can keep surviving. He can keep eating and stuff. In a further attempt one day to get rid of Victor and to get to him, he pulls Amelia to the side during his travels, Frank does. And he tells her the truth about Victor, why he's there, what he's doing. So now Amelia is mad because Victor has been lying to her all this time about being a contractor traveling. Now she knows that he's stuck there and he's been lying. So she goes to confront him at his makeshift home in that abandoned gate. And he's able to calm her down. He explains everything to her. He even exposes to her what's in his planter's can. Something that Frank constantly wants to know about, but he never gets let in on it. He opens up and he shows Amelia what's in there. And it's a copy of the photograph, A Great Day in Harlem. Victor's dad apparently was a huge jazz fan, jazz enthusiast. And he discovered it in a Hungarian newspaper. And he vowed, all the way back in 1958, Victor's dad vowed to get autographs from all 57 men in that photo. And over his lifetime, he had accomplished 56 of them. He's only missing one autograph. And Victor's dad passed away before he could obtain it. And that is what brought Victor to America in the first place. He's trying to finish this quest that his father started. After hearing that story and how open Victor is and how selfless he is, how much he's willing to help complete his father's lifelong quest, she's basically instantly fallen for him, kisses him, the whole nine. Fast forward a little bit of the story. It's now been 9 months since Victor touched down at that terminal. And some of the friends that he's made wake him up one day, letting him know that the war in Krakosia has ended. He gets a one-day emergency visa in order to fulfill his dreams. But the man who's been a thorn in his side the entire time, Frank, has to sign it for it to be valid. Frank threatens to make trouble for Victor's new friends, including deportation of one of them back to India. You know, after all of this, Victor being locked up in the terminal, essentially, being a prisoner of sorts, he now has to choose. Fulfill the lifelong dream, harm his friends. Victor agrees to go home and not complete his quest. When Gupta, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, I'm probably butchering it, but the friend who's facing deportation, when he learns of Frank's plan, he refuses to put Victor through that. So he runs down onto the tarmac as airplanes are touching down. And he literally runs in front of a plane that is taxiing to a terminal, which causes him to get arrested, which in turn causes him to get deported. So now that weight's off of Victor. He did that on his own. Go, Victor. Do your thing. So, Victor now realizing that if he does this, he doesn't have to worry about him being deported. He starts to go for the doors, so that he can walk through those doors and touch American soil officially and go finish his quest. The security guards barricade the doors, form a blockade, because Frank has ordered them to. Frank wants them to stop him. But even at this point, the security guards are Team Victor. So they open up and allow Victor to go through. Victor makes his way to the hotel where Benny Golson is performing the final autograph that he needs, gets the signature, gets into a taxi cab, and goes back to the airport to return home. So despite all of the turmoil and all of the pain that Frank tried to cause him, despite the fact that he was trapped in this terminal for 9 months, he still was able to fulfill his quest and be able to carry out his father's wishes and get that last signature for him before going home. It's an amazing movie. This is the first time I've seen it all the way through. I had seen parts of it prior to this, and I couldn't wait to get into this movie and actually see the whole thing, because the whole story just seemed very interesting to me. A person trapped in an airport for all this time. I give this film 3.5 stars out of 5. To me, it's still not as good excuse me, as some of his other classics, but it's damn near up there. It's definitely a really good, really solid story, really good performances from everyone involved. What do you guys think of The Terminal? Let me know Leave your thoughts in the comment box below. Per the usual, I will get back to you about them. Let's take to social media. Let's start getting those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios. Hashtag Renegades Reviews. Hashtag Renegade Returns. And of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising. Merchandising? What's that? Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag StatBoyApproved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Don't forget to do what the commercial just told you. Get out there, go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network. Get you all the merchandise of the Casa D18 Brethren. Get yourself the Renegade J.J. Williams shirt. Get yourself the Dad's Not Always on Wrestling shirt. Get yourself the shirts for Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag StatBoyApproved. Get yourself the official shirt of the Jeff Meacham Network, the Meachamania shirts, the Talk Wrestling shirts, you name it, they're all up there. Go get them in support. Today, like I said at the start of the show, is the end of Tom Hanks month. Tomorrow we begin a new month and a new theme. And let's take a look real quick at what we have in store for you next month. It's going to be a good one because we have two themes in effect next month. From February 1st through the 14th, we're going to be doing romantic comedies, chick flicks, whatever you want to call them. And then from the 15th through the 28th, we're going to be doing Black History Month. We've got everything from Beaches, Pretty Woman, Breakfast at Tiffany's, to Roots, to 42, to Ray. Lots of good stories going to be coming next month right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. So until next time, right here on Renegades Reviews, exclusively on the Casa D18 Studios channel, I am the Renegade J.J. Williams, and make sure you join me tomorrow when we start our journey into the chick flicks with one of the ultimate chick flicks, Beaches, starring Bette Midler, Barbara Hershey, and others. So until tomorrow, right here on Renegades Reviews, I am the Renegade J.J. Williams. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.